Okay, I'm going to do full body stretches, focusing on like flow, balance, being relaxed. So it should be nice stretches. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cross my legs over. You can either bend your legs or straighten them. The more you straighten them, the more of a stretch you'll feel through the hamstrings. And I'm going to gently lower myself. If this is as far as you can get, just leave your hands here. But if you can, try and touch the floor. And we're just going to breathe nice and deep and hold this position. This position is a bit hard to balance in, which is good for your core engagement. So you really got to focus to try and balance in this like tricky stretch, and you'll feel it through your hamstrings as well. So keep breathing. I also feel it lengthening my back out, which feels nice. With every breath you might find you can push a little bit further down. If not, don't push. But if you feel like there's a bit of give, then by all means go for it. Alright, I'm going to come up nice and slowly. And I'm going to put the other foot in front and go down again. So you might find one side's harder than the other. You might find you can't get as low down, or you need to have the option of holding your leg instead. That's perfectly fine. Just do what you feel comfortable doing. So I'm still breathing nice and deep breaths and focusing on my balance as well as my hamstrings. I'm kind of using my hands as a bit of a tripod to help keep myself balanced. Nice deep breaths. Again, if you can, you might want to stretch a little bit further with every out breath. And slowly coming up. I'm going to unwind. I'm going to keep my feet reasonably close together, and I'm going to let my body fall down. And then slowly coming up with the head being the last thing, and falling down. And slowly coming up and down. And up. I'm going to do two more. Down. And one more. And up. Awesome. I'm going to come here because I'm going to go into downward dog. So I'm going to come down and I'm going to walk my hands out. I'm going to press down. See if I can get my heels to the floor. I'm going to make sure my head is going between my shoulders, and I'm going to hold this position. So this is another one that people sometimes find tricky to balance in. Obviously it does take a lot of strength, upper body, in your legs and in your core, but it's a really good one. I'm going to walk through my feet nice and slow, and I'm just keeping on breathing. Awesome. Alrighty, I'm going to bring one leg behind me. I'm not going to do too much. I'm going to keep my hips square. So I'm not bringing my leg up too high, but we are going to do that in a minute. We're going to focus more on the hips. But I'm just holding this position. This is one that's hard to hold. It does require a lot of balance. And it puts a lot of pressure on that back leg. I'm going to hold it for 5 more seconds, and then I'm going to turn my hips out. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When I turn my hips out, my leg goes higher. Because I'm flexible in my hips, it helps me get that leg nice and high, kind of like I'm doing the splits upside down. So from here, I'm going to slowly bring that knee down and in. I'm going to kick it back out and down. I'm going to do one more, but when I bring my leg in this time, I'm going to push into a lunge position. So this is another one requiring a bit of balance. I'm going to adjust my feet so I'm comfortable in it and keep breathing. If you want, you can put your hands here, wherever feels comfortable for you, but people find that this is good for their balance. Or you can even hold on like this. Right, I'm going to bring one hand down, placing it next to my foot, and I'm going to bring this hand up to the sky. This one requires a lot of core strength and balance and leg strength. It's a bit awkward, a bit hard to hold, but you are working on your balance. I'm going to swap hands, putting this hand down, this hand up. One side normally feels a bit more awkward than the other side. Keep breathing. And back down. I'm going to push this leg back into downward dog. I'm going to move a bit this way. So I'm back in downward dog. If you need to come out of this because it's too much, then you might want to go into child's pose. If not, you can hold this position. I'm going to walk my legs out again. This one feels nice on my calves as well. My calves have been really tight lately. Alrighty, I'm going to float this leg back, keeping my hips square, keeping my balance, really breathing. Nice deep breaths. Trying to focus on engaging everything. And in 5 seconds, I'm going to turn the hips out. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm turning my body and my hips. I'm going to come down in a minute and bring that knee to my arms. Nice and slow. In, up, in, up, and on this last one, I'm coming into a lunge. And trying to focus on holding the balance, which is the hard part. Does feel a bit like a workout as well, trying to keep everything engaged. Remember, you can put your hands in different spots if you need to. And I'm going to place this hand down next to my foot, other hand to the sky. Focusing on my core, engaging everything, and swapping sides. Back down, back into downward dog, but I'm going to walk my hands up, get to that halfway point and hold. coming all the way up. So I'm standing again. I'm going to do another balancy exercise. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my foot and keep one leg grounded, and I'm just going to put it on my thigh. So it is hard to balance. It's good to focus on something that's not moving to keep your balance. But we're going to hold this for a little bit. You might find that your ankle feels like it's twitching because obviously it's bearing a lot of weight, a lot of balance, but that's good for strengthening it. I actually have a lot of clients with weak ankles and weak wrists, but doing stuff like this can really help strengthen those areas. And I'm gonna come down and I'm gonna do the other side. So like everything, you might find one side harder or easier than the other side. I do find that balance is harder than people make it out to be. It seems like it would be an easy thing, but you really do need to focus. It's a lot harder than it looks. So I'm just breathing, trying to stay focused, trying to look at that one point, and I'll come down. Awesome. So that's how it looks. Next one I'm going to do is kind of similar. I'm going to take my leg and I'm going to put it just above my knee, kind of crossed over. I like to put my hands here. You can stay here if that feels comfortable for you, or you can try and lower your body a little bit. So this obviously puts a lot more pressure on that balance point. Again, try and look at one spot, try and keep focused so that you can hold that position a bit longer. Without realizing, balance does require a lot of core strength, and you'll notice that the more you focus on your balance, the more you can engage your core. I'm going to come out into the next one. And obviously, having good core engagement helps you with a lot of exercises, a lot of stretches, a lot of everyday things, to be honest. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but my ankle is like going crazy because it is really hard to balance. We don't realise how hard it is until we try to do something like this. Keeping on breathing. Nice deep breaths. And coming up. Alrighty. I'm going to do a nice big squat. I'm going to come down. So even though those exercises look kind of easy, when you actually give them a go, you do realise how hard they actually are. If you want to make this a bit harder, you can come down onto your elbows so that you're getting your hips nice and low. And I'm just going to move my body side to side, getting a bit of flow and movement. And I'm going to push up. And again, I'm turning my hips side to side. Keep breathing. Alright, I'm going to walk my hands to one side, and I'm going to turn my foot, both my feet, so that they're facing the same way I'm facing. And I'm going to do similar to what we did in that lunge, putting one hand on the floor, one hand up. If you need, you can grab your ankle instead of the floor if you can't reach the floor. Or if you desperately need to, you can put a slight bend in that leg. And coming down, and I'm going to do the other side. I find this way harder. And coming down, and I'm going to walk over to the other side. This is my weaker hamstring. And placing that hand up. Keep breathing, and down, and other side. And down. And I'm going to walk back to the middle, and I'm going to swing side to side. Very gently. And let my body roll up with the head being the last thing. Alrighty. Now you don't have to do this, but because we're kind of focusing on balance and stuff, I thought kind of finish off with headstands would be cool. So I'm just going to hold a headstand. If you watch my video how to do them, do that. If you haven't, maybe pause this and then do that, or you don't have to do it. So I'm just going to get myself into position. So it's all about going nice and slow and really controlling yourself so that you can hold the position and really balance. I'm breathing nice and deep. And I'm going to come down, nice and controlled. So definitely need balance to do stuff like that. Hope you enjoyed.